No one ever prepares you for this question, but I'll bet that you've probably thought about it at least once, possibly even late at nighttime and alone. What happens when you die? I'm not talking about what you've heard from others or what you have been told that makes you feel comfortable, but rather what the Bible actually states about what happens to the soul when an individual dies. As a follower of Christ, there should be no question about what happens to your soul after death because the Bible contains the answers to those questions. And as I'll show you later in this article, those answers provide us with clarity. Specifically, I want to go over 1. The separation of body and soul. 2. What happens to your soul after physical death. 3. Judgment. And finally, 4. Heaven. Let's start with where nearly no one ever starts, the moment of separation. Ecclesiastes 12:7 states, "Then the dust will return to the earth as it was, and the spirit will return to God who gave it." That is not poetry for the sake of poetry. Rather, that is a description of a process that takes place at the moment of death, an instantaneous separation between the body and the soul. The body will go in one direction, and the spirit will go in another direction. And ideally, at that time, you should be ready for the event of your departure. Ecclesiastes 12:7. "The dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it." What does it mean for one to return back home to God? This question leads to many interesting observations. One such observation comes from Paul in 2 Corinthians 5:8. Paul states that he would choose not to be present with his earthly body rather than being in the presence of the Lord in heaven. This gives us a sense of instantaneously moving from one place to another. In fact, Paul describes the absence from the body and presence with the Lord as instantaneous. There is no time gap between leaving the physical body and arriving in heaven. One does not go through a waiting room. There is not an empty void. The instant the individual leaves the physical body, they move to being completely and totally somewhere else. 2 Corinthians 5:8. "We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord." Things become more complicated, which is how lots of people agree on when referencing the wrong idea of what happens to the soul after death. Not every soul goes the same way according to the Bible. The story Jesus Christ tells about two men dying in Luke 16 is commonly referred to as a parable, but take a look at how detailed he is with this one story. He talks about two men that have died, where the one is taken to Abraham's side by angels, and the one is in a place of torment. And the scripture refers to a great chasm fixed between the two, so, therefore, there is no going from one to another, regardless of how badly you want to. The interesting part of this story is that after both men have died, there is not any doubt where they're at, and they know this. Both are conscious. Both have their full faculties at hand. Both are able to see, feel, know, and talk. Whatever state the soul becomes after death, it cannot be the same as what we have experienced here, since one would be in a dream-like state, or like an echo of this life. But rather the new life will be more real than anything we will experience here. Furthermore, many people don't notice that the rich man immediately knew who Abraham was upon seeing him. This raises the question, does the soul retain memory? Does the soul retain identity? In light of the story Jesus Christ told in Luke 16, the answer strongly suggests yes. What do we know? According to the Bible, the soul immediately leaves from the body and continues on with its memory, identity, and consciousness all intact. once the soul has departed from the body, the person will go to one of two destinations. Neither of these are determined by luck or ritual, but by what had been determined long before passing. The Bible clearly says that there will be a judgment after death. See Hebrews 9:27. It is appointed unto man to die once, and after that, the judgment. It is not stated that there be eventuality. The judgment follows tight behind death. Therefore, the 5 minutes following one's death may very well carry more weight than every single decision an individual made while alive. Hebrews 9:27. And as it is appointed for men to die once, but after this, the judgment. Here's something to ponder. The Bible does not describe death as an end, but rather as a gateway that opens into a predetermined destination, with the soul still intact and fully cognizant, aware of its own existence and experience. The Scriptures are constantly attempting to redirect the reader's focus from what will take place after death to how one has lived, what kind of person they were, etc., when they arrive at the destination in question. That may be the most significant line you have read today.